Yeah, yeah. Yo, all right. So I honestly feel like, yeah, I might have jumped the gun. This music didn't hit. Nah, I feel that the appropriate tune to sing is "So I Sweep." Yeah, just sweep it on the twins though, cause nobody is supposed to grow. Yeah, so we sweep. Yeah, bruh. Okay, look. All right, have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like, all right, things ain't going the way I feel like they should? Maybe things are taking a toll, and at some point in time, she gonna break up with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I just feel it. Yeah, I mean, I feel it. That's low key kind of how I feel about the Cardinals right now. Like, this excitement is dope. This sweep winning is phenomenal, but I'm also like, man, are we really this good, or is this real, or am I just waiting for me to get that phone call or get that, hey, we need to talk text? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to talk about this win today because there was a victory. Hallelujah. Thank you very much, Mr. Pedro Paez, for the home run. All of them hitting the balls out the court. I mean, out of the park, boy. Victor Scott as well. And guess who? Nolan Gorman hit his home run as well. And we are happy about that. We're going to talk about not only that, but also what it is that Wilson Contreras says is his reason for eating tape yesterday. We don't know. The rise of Newt Barr as the star of the St. Louis Cardinals, in my opinion, the stay potential for Nolan Arenado, because he has been productive since he's been here, but definitely the two stars of the day. Even though I know Vic Scott did his thing, he's been on fuego. These two came out the park yesterday. So let's go ahead and celebrate a Cardinals win. We did it. We did it. We did it. Jalo Isimos. I know we won the series before because we already won 2 games, but at least we have a whole sweep right now. Ain't nothing to shine a leg at. So let's talk about this and a couple other things going on in the the MLB, including what's going on with these big bets that the Yankees got. I don't know if I like all that. And what's going on with these Padres? I'm not gonna sit and go down every single thing on the list of things to talk about in baseball. I ain't got that much time, but we're gonna talk about a couple things. Let's go ahead and kick it off right now. So yeah, man, let's go ahead and start with the fact that your boy Nolan Gorman. Now, let's keep it real. Nolan had a tough end of the season last year. The boy got sent down to AAA to get his swing right, I suppose, because he wasn't really hitting like that. And as a result, I think he then came back with a little bit of edge on his shoulder. I think he's a little like, bro, okay, y'all ain't sending me back to them darn buses, to those rooms, to those hotels that are no longer 5-star. I want to stay up here in the bigs so I can keep my big league status. And I ain't going back. Like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, like sending folks down to AAA is almost like being grounded. You know what I'm saying? It's like being punished. It's like going down. It's like when you fail first grade and have to stay held back. You know what I'm saying? When you go down, you don't want to go back. And like I said, most of the youngsters on this squad did that last year. They was up and down. Victor Scott, Jordan Walker, and Nolan Gorman. And what are you seeing right now? You seeing those same players playing their ass off because they don't want to have to go back. So shout out to Nolan, man. Let's go ahead and go down what happened yesterday. So it was a pretty productive day. The Twins, of course, are having their problems. So I'm still taking this victory with a grain of salt. But it's a victory. It could have went the other way. So let's not sit there and act like just because it's the Twins and not the Yankees or the Dodgers, that is still not a win. 3 wins in a row. This gives good signs for not only the position players, because all of them slugging. Like, look, Burley got a hit that went almost to the back, damn near went over the wall. Victor Scott, 3-run homer. Hallelujah. All right. Pedro came in, did his thing. Nolan as well. And keep in mind, Nolan, again, had to go down in the very end of the season. That's how he ended the season. So this is him saying, you better not even think about putting me in some AAA. Your boy's here, and I'm here to stay. So yeah, let's talk about some of the things that did occur. So first of all, in the bottom of the first inning, Nolan struck out swinging. All right, it's all good. No big deal. It happens. Nolan didn't have his best game yesterday. Let's keep it real. He actually was, if I'm not mistaken, only hit about 1 of his 3 at-bats. Ended up getting 1 run, but that's cool. So he had 3. He had a OPS yesterday, a 1.45 4-7. I know I said that real slow. Don't laugh at me. I'm still debating about how you supposed to say OPS. I'm getting used to the new stats, so y'all gonna have to bear with your boy, okay? Bear with your boy. All right. In addition to that, Victor Scott, as I already said, had the 2 home runs. Had the home run that hit in. Nolan Gorman hit was one that scored, and Pedro Paez scored as well. So we love that. We love that. We were able to keep Buxton from doing a whole bunch, but he did swing and did hit. He did get on base and did have an RBI. So whatever, Buck, go ahead and do your little buck truck, and that's cool. We ain't gonna mess with you. But yeah, the big scores came, in my opinion, when Pedro Paez launched this joint. This was in the bottom of the 3rd inning where he homered. It was on a fly ball to left center field. Alec Burleson scored as well, and Nolan scored. This was all in the same inning. This was really cool. Then next inning, Willie came in, hit a fly ball to right center. I ain't really mad at it. He did his thing. They had to do something. But at that point, it was too late because we were already ahead 8-2. Next thing you know, the 7th inning, this is when Nolan comes in, does his thug thizzle, hits his home run out to right center field, gave the St. Louis Cardinals just under 10 runs for the game to end up with our victory. And that, my friends, is how you do it. We come away with the W, not just for the game, but for the entire series. So big up to the Cardinals and where they're going. So a lot is to be said about this coming out swinging. You know, right now we are still currently undefeated. I didn't expect that to be the case. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, we've been getting all of this about, the young Rio, they didn't get nobody. They're trying to trade Nolan Arenado. Nolan contributed. Everybody's doing their thing. I mean, it's still up in the air what's going to happen with Nolan. This is extremely encouraging. You cannot say you're not encouraged if you're a Cardinals fan to see what's going on. Again, like I said in the intro, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. I just get this bad feeling that at some point in time, we're going to wake up and be like, yeah, this was too good to be true. I hope that that's not the case. But I'm just, I guess, it's a defense mechanism. So I hope I'm wrong and this energy goes, because let's be real. The Cardinals now look like they have an identity. Before, they didn't have no identity. All right, I'll state some small things just to state my point. Last year, I remember when you would get on base, like when Mason Wynn or somebody would get on base, there was no sign. There was no, oh, we're on base. Okay, you know, kind of like how whenever the Dodgers get to second base, they do the little palm tree joint or whatever. And sometimes, like the Royals, they do this little thing right here, you know. And there was, I mean, not to say that that's an obligational thing. Every team doesn't have like a thing. You know how the Guardians, that they gotta do this little thing whenever they go around for a home run. Everybody doesn't have a thing, all right, and that's fine. But last year it was really inconsistent. You know, at one point I saw Mason Wynn, whenever he would go up to, he would do this when he get up to second. I was like, okay, is that what we're doing? We're doing this, you know. And then at one point in time, I don't know if you remember, but I think it was Randy Horton that came to visit the Cardinals. He's from St. Louis, or he's from Hazelwood. Hazelwood is St. Louis. You know, my Uncle Barry in East Hazelwood. So I'm not gonna sit there and talk down on Hazelwood. If you in Hazelwood, you done did good for yourself. All right. I don't know how y'all get them roads to be so smooth. But he gave them a belt, and they were using the belt. They were throwing it over their shoulder after they would get a home run. And that was kind of their thing, you know, kind of like the Seattle Mariners when they get the little trident or whatever. But this year, to see the baby bird, kind of like it just feels kind of like them signaling to the audience, like, this is our identity. We are actually going to have some sort of identity that we forge this year. We're not just here to try to do our best, but we want to also create a culture. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Newt has a lot to do with that. Newt, every time he would go up on base, every time he would do something, every time something happened, he's sitting there doing the baby bird. And remember, he wasn't here with us last year most of the year because he was hurt. So for him to be, I just feel like the leadership is overflowing this year. Like, these cats are not listening to the hype, the news, the bullshit. Like, they are really, really out there trying to be like, look, man, we're not just going to go out there and put up a bullshit season. We really want to have some success. That's so encouraging. And like I said, it's not just coming with the gameplay. It's coming with the culture, the tongue out, the baby bird. Everything that we are doing is saying to me, the Cardinals is not trying to just get by this season. So I will take the 3 wins. Thank you very much. All right. I will take the success that we've had, and I will take the actual themes that they're showing us as well, the baby bird and all. So I hope, man, Didn't I? Okay. All right, I forgot to put. I think I loaded the stats. Didn't I load the stats up? Okay, hit the pause. Oh, there it is. I knew it. I knew I did. Much better than I edit this part out. The beauty of not having to do it live. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. So let's go over some of these stats right quick. Here's how he fared in this recent game. So Newt did end up getting us. Whoa, no hits, but he walked twice, so he was on base. All right. Contreras still struggling, and I know that's going to go away at some point because he got too much pride for him to not actually start the slug or at least hit. Donovan is a sneaky all-star. This dude is consistent. I think he's frankly one of the most consistent folks on the team. Once again, you see Arenado showing up. You see what that says right there? He only struck out once. There's 3 at-bats. He walked once, and there's a hit. So he had a phenomenal day as far as I'm concerned. Look at that. Ciani, damn. Well, I don't think he was. I shouldn't say that about Ciani. Ciani only went up where he had like 1 at bat, like the last inning or something. Burley, all right, he hit, and that was a powerful hit too. It almost went out the park. So I think Burley wants to get in on the fun. Nolan, as you see, my lord, that's a dude who does not want to go down. Look at the OPS. Look at the OPS. Look at the OPS with Nolan Gorman and Pedro. Like them dudes, those are the bench players, people. Those are the players on the bench. Those are not the starters. Do you think they want to start? Look at that. Look at the OPS. Are you nuts? Look at this. Look. I feel like Dennis Rodman. Remember Dennis Rodman went over when he went over. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. Look at them. Yo, they out there doing their thing. Let me go ahead and go back to the stats, man, because this is dope. All right, so we also see Scott. You see that 4 at-bats. Scott stole Ciani's position. And it didn't start this year. It started from last year. Remember, he caught that fly, that ball, robbed that homer from Jackson Merrill off the Padres. Almost so much to the point that Jackson Merrill actually went to Victor Scott because it was a turnover. I mean, you know, because they was going switching from offense to defense, and he was like, "Yo, that's just awesome." Even though he caught his ball, I love it when people don't get mad. Because it's just sports, man. It's just sports. Like Jurickson Profar. He accidentally ran over Luis Arias yesterday. Yeah, that's his old teammate. He's like, the sports, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. He was just trying to get on base. So yeah, and the real crux, man. The real thing that unfortunately is really starting to unfortunately get to me is the demise of my man Mason Wynn. My God. Like, he is legitimately completely absent offensively this year so far. Now, I know it's early. So I'm not sitting there trying to say it's, you know, this is how it's going to be. But you can't help but feel like, whoa, what's going on, Mason? You know what I'm saying? You can't help but feel like, are we ever going to get back to the Mason Wynn that was giving us all of those leadoff hits that whenever it will go down to 2 strikes with no balls? It's such a pause. Like he would still somehow get on base. What has happened? What is going on, Mason? What's going on? What is happening, Mason? Talk to me, dog. My boy ain't hit like now. This whole entire year, it's been 3 games. He has a walk, and that's like it. What are we doing? I'm not speaking out of malcontent. I'm speaking out of frustration. Like, what's going on, Mason? Talk to us. Is anybody interviewing Mason? Is anybody asking him what's happening? Somebody just help us understand what it is that's causing this demise. Now, one thing he isn't doing is slipping up defensively. All right. The boy is still doing everything defensively. He is still an Ozzie Smith shortstop. There's no doubt about that. So we ain't got nothing to worry about in that department. But as of right now, Mason Wynn has had 9 at-bats and has had 0 hits. He has 0 RBIs. He has 0 stolen bases. Of course, if he has no hits, that means he has no home runs. All right. He has an OPS 182. Like, .182. 1,182. 182. This is coming from a guy who had 15 home runs last year, is not even a slugger, all right, who I was expecting to have doubled his 11 stolen bases from the year before, from a guy who ended the year with a 2.7 average, which, I mean, I know it's not to be desired. You want the 3, but I mean, it's not no low 2 or 1, you know, from a dude who had 157 hits out of 587 at bats. 3 games deep, we have not put the barrel to the bat at all in a manner that puts the ball in play. That's what's up. I don't know what's going on, Mason, but I hope it's nothing mental. Well, you know, Even if it is, I hope whatever it is, it's fixable. Because everybody, a lot of folks on that team is having a lot of fun right now. And Mason Wynn is out here with a whole bunch of goose eggs. And Mason Wynn probably is selling the most jerseys for current players right now. But that role has been shifted to Scott Newt, in my opinion. So Mason, hopefully you get to come back at some point offensively, bro, because we know that you is definitely one of the G's. But man, right now it don't really seem to be doing whatever it do. All right, so just a quick update on a few things that happened that I feel like now that we have a little bit of context, we can address a little bit. So if you were paying attention, you may have noticed that in the game prior, there were let's just call them shenanigans as it pertains to one Wilson Contreras, where Mr. Contreras, for whatever reason, decided he was going to eat the tape on his bat. We didn't really understand what was going on with the bat tape thing. It didn't really seem to make much sense, but evidently there is some clarity now, as he did do an interview with one of the Cardinals insiders where we were given some sort of explanation as to why he was eating his bat tape. So I will read from you. This is from John Denton, who put out this article on the 30th, and it's titled, "That Was a Bad Taste, Why Contreras Batting Tape in His Mouth." All right, so it reads, "A dying clock and the fear of striking out caused a panicked Wilson Contreras to do something that he instantly regretted in the bottom of the third inning of the Cardinals' 5-1 win over the Twins on Saturday. After noticing the grip tape unraveling near the knob of his bat before a 3-2 pitch, Contreras used his teeth to unroll it and tear it off. Because he had already used his one allowable timeout and the pitch timer was at 11 seconds, he needed to be in the box and alert with 8 seconds remaining or risk an automatic strike call. Contreras hurriedly wadded up the bat and put it in his mouth instead of his back pocket. Instantly, the slugger knew that was a bad decision. It had nothing to do with him swinging and missing at the next pitch for a strikeout." Let me just read that again. "And it had nothing to do with him swinging and missing at the next pitch for a strikeout." Right? "That was a bad taste, really bad," Contreras said with a laugh. "I don't try to put pine tar or sticky spray on my bat, but it was disgusting, just a bad taste." Contreras said it was the first time and hopefully the last time he ever puts bad tape in his mouth. What made it even worse, he said, was the whole result of the at-bat. The whole experience ultimately left a bad taste in his mouth. So this is, I guess, what happens. With this clock, you have to do things that are out of your control. And I had to do that instead of striking out. Contreras said, "Well, I struck out anyways, but I'd rather strike out swinging rather than by the clock. I don't think chewing the tape was a bad thing to do, but I was just running out of time. I had no time." Okay. All right, Wilson. You had no time. The clock was running out. But does that explain why you put it in your mouth? This explanation explains nothing. You could have threw it anywhere. You could have put it, you couldn't have littered, bro. Like, you literally, when you hit the ball, you throw the bat, you give up your armor, you throw places. And there's a little bat boy or there's a clubby who's going to pick up. Why did you eat the tape? This is not an explanation. You were running out of time. Okay, so take the tape off and throw it, and then you hit the ball. Why eat it? That is not an explanation, Wilson. You're still a little cuckoo. El Loco. Hey, Willie El Loco. What we going to start calling you? But I love it. I love it. I love how intense he is. I know I'm talking but it's hilarious. And it's dope. And it's different. And it's interesting. And I got to impress. You know, he's in the national news now with regard to sports because this antics was just so crazy. But it's hilarious. It's a part of that personality I was talking about before. The Cardinals are doing things that you wouldn't expect them to do. They're getting attention. They're winning. They're hitting home runs. They're winning series in a year which they were projected to basically be the bottom of the NL Central. So for Willie to come out and do some crazy stuff like this, yeah, it's a little nuts, but hey, I ain't mad, Willie. You be you, homeboy. All right. Lastly, on the way out with regard to card ball, let's talk pitching a little bit. So the pitchers did their things yesterday. Palante was our pitcher, and he had a really good day at on the mound. He kept everybody at bat. There was pretty much, like I said, only one real problem. That was Byron Buxton. He got a couple chances to hit a couple things, and he did. But overall, people, the game was pretty much held by Palante, and the two, Palante and Steven Matz, held down the whole game on their own. Can you believe that? Look, 5 innings and 4 innings. Didn't even have to bring in any closer. You got to love it when they don't have to worry about bringing in hell's bells, and you can save them for actual games that require him to come in and save it. So not with a 7-run lead, we good. And Matz looked comfortable out there. It just, you know what I didn't keep in mind? Somebody said it. I think it was an announcer mentions about the fact that, now the players have had a whole year with each other, since there aren't any real new additions. This is a clubhouse that is gelling because they are now completely in full rapport with each other. Like, there's no new person added that kind of throws off. There's no Tommy Pham or, some late addition. Everybody has been through spring training. They went through the year last year. They experienced the same, just barely missing the playoffs by 1 or 2 series. And I think that they all kind of have this bit of synergy that you can notice, right? That energy it's flowing there. So I'm feeling it. And hopefully we can keep that bad boy going all the way through the season. Again, all right, a couple stories on the way out that I just have a problem with, and I'm honestly just going to come out and say it. Like, all right, what's going on with these bats? I'm not liking the bat thing. What's going on, New York? What are we doing? Are we really trying to say that there's no shenanigans going on? All right, so I get it. So you put the barrel a little bit different at a different spot, and all of a sudden it just lets it so that where you normally hit it, it hit. But for it to be like something that the club is doing, it's not weird. Like there's some other players that have these bats, but it is kind of, I don't know. It's just something about it just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not feeling it. The whole tip, it looked like a sex toy. I'm not feeling it. Fortunately, your boy Aaron Judge, who is taking lead role as he always does in the regular season very well. I think he's already 4 or 5 home runs already, like this season. I'm going to try to keep track of whoever makes it into the 10 to 20 club and all of that. But Aaron Judge is already, and the whole even Jazz is slugging now a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So the boys on track. Yeah, Aaron Judge already has 4 home runs this year. All right, in 3 games, he's got 4 home runs, and that's nuts. So he can do it without the bat. Man, I hope he never gets the bat. I think Goldie got it, Belly got it, and Jazz got it. And Goldie came from Cardinals territory, and he wasn't hitting like that. So if this is the new thing he needed to make him hit, I'm a little upset that happened in Yankees territory. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? So that's something. And I also just really quick wanted to just shout out a team that I really like. I'm not going to lie. And I'm loyal to the Cardinals always and will be until the day I'm no longer here. But I got to say, if there's another team that I had to kind of pick and follow and be like, yo, I really like this team and they're really exciting to watch, it would have to be that team over there in California. Nope, not that one. Nope, sorry. The other one, the one at Petco, the one that seems to always have most fun on the field. And that, of course, is the Padres. These dudes are so fun to watch, man. Tatis, Machado, even Bogarts. I know he's probably on downward decline, but now Jackson Merrill could have been Rookie of the Year last year. All right, but he wasn't. But he very well could have been, and he still has a chance to be an all-star. I think that this team is one to watch, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because as of yesterday, they had the defense. The defense is nuts. Do you watch these guys make plays? Like, they make these incredible plays. Manny Machado himself specifically has these they make these triples. They get the ball and then they do you remember last year around, I think it was just around the postseason, I think it was the last play of a game. It was 2 on base, and the ball was hit towards Manny Machado. Manny Machado tagged third, did a triple play. You rarely see triple plays nowadays. But Manny Machado's got Nolan Arenado type skills at the third base. And I know he used to be a shortstop, but my God, like the dude is just, he's flawless. Manny, and then you take Manny and the excitement of Fernando Tatis and the excitement of just, well, I used to like Higgy as well. Darvish being like the one of the goats of Japanese pitchers and whatnot. How you not like the Padres, man? These dudes are they're just exciting. Luis Arias, man, look, I love whenever Tatis hits the ball. It's amazing. Oh, they always interview him. You're like, oh, how was that, Fernando? Oh, it's amazing. We just want to play the ball and we had so much fun. And so Fernando, what was it like when you hit that home run? Oh, it was amazing. I just like to hit the ball. You go fire when I hit the ball. Oh, he's got his hair out. He always keep his shirt off. I like these dudes, man. But you know what I'm saying? That does not mean that I'm not still a loyal Cardinal fan. So don't come for me. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. Hopefully today is a good day for the Cardinals and a good day for baseball in general. Doesn't seem like there's a whole slew of games. We have the Angels that we have to go up against today later on, which I honestly feel like this should be another win. We should beat the Angels in the whole series. All right. The Angels are in disarray right now. All right. Jorge Soler. All right. Big deal. All right. Mike Trout. Welcome back. I mean, other than that, Soriano as your pitcher, he's not going to be leading off. I don't think. I don't even know. I had to check. All right. I'm going to get better, like I said. But the one wild card that I tend to like on the Angels that nobody's really talking about is Tim Anderson. I like this dude. He's a really intense motherfucker, and I would never want to end up on an elevator with him and accidentally step on his toe, because the dude look like he will fight anybody at any time, and he fought for his position over there on the Angels, coming from the Marlins, coming from the White Sox. I look forward to seeing this dude do his thing. So we'll check out that series a little later on tonight. I hope y'all are enjoying these little things. I'm trying to get some of these things out as often as I can. But we'll be rebound.